Oh, it started.
All right.
Okay. I like this. This is going to be fun. All right. So I guess we'll just get started. Kasey, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Kasey Phillips. I am a wellness coach and also a personal trainer. And I'm here to talk to Nicole today about my weight loss journey, which started almost 5 years ago in March 2011. I can't believe it's been that long. But I'm excited to share, my journey and hopefully some tips and suggestions on what you can do also if you're looking to take a little bit of control of your health and your fitness.
Yeah. And I like that sentence, take control, because a lot of times people feel like their weight or, their body issues is sort of out of control or out of their control. So I like that. So I guess describe your mentality, like when you were like back in March, when you were like a little overweight, like how, because sometimes the mental blocks are like the first blocks you have to fight.
Of course, of course. I love that you said a little overweight. I actually weighed almost 300 pounds when I started working out and really, as you like, taking control of my own fitness. I had just graduated from law school. I had taken the bar. I ran my immune system into the ground, and I got diagnosed with mono. And I was just in a really bad place, physically, mentally, emotionally, everything. I had always been overweight. And then when I got mono, I gained even more weight because they had to put me on steroids and to keep my throat from closing shut. And that makes you gain weight. The only thing that I could eat was Slurpees, which, as you know, are pretty much pure sugar and water. So that was definitely not healthy. It was the only thing I could swallow for like 3 weeks. And then I ended up sleeping like 20, 22 hours a day, which was crazy. So it went on like that for about 3 months, like mid-November through February. And then I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't be this overweight. I can't be this sick. I can't be this tired. I can't continue to run my body into the ground day after day after day and not give it the fuel it needs, give it the activity it needs, and really take care of it, because you only have one body. I mean, I know they have like plastic surgery and all of that stuff now, but realistically, you only have the one body that you're given.
Yeah.
So I made a decision that I was going to go to a gym. And I was like, okay, I'm going to join a gym. And I did my research and I found the cheapest gym with like the lowest enrollment costs and tried to get the best deal possible because I was still looking to move at that time. I didn't want a big commitment. So I found this gym and I went and I spent 20 minutes on the elliptical. So I took they have like a free pass you can print online.
Yeah.
And I did like 20 minutes on the elliptical and I thought I was going to die. Like I was so tired afterwards. And a lot of people know like that part of the story, of course, what they don't know is the next part. And that's that after I went and did my 20 minutes on the elliptical, I drove through McDonald's because I was like, I deserve a treat. Like, I worked so hard.
Yeah.
So my mentality was still, not great as it went towards food. Even, as fitness goes, clearly 20 minutes on an elliptical did not burn anything that I got from McDonald's.
Yeah.
But another thing that I did was that I was offered something called a body fit test by the gym. And that's obviously their way of selling personal training.
Yeah.
But I knew it would get me back in the gym the next day. So I wouldn't punk out because I had an appointment with someone. So I was like, all right, like I'll do it. It was free, whatever. So they set me up with a trainer and I came in the next day. We did the body fit test, which went horribly. I mean, I was clearly overweight. I could barely make it through most of the exercises. But the trainer was really nice, and he walked me through everything. And he's like, you know, if you just get a couple sessions, I'll write some programs for you. I'll show you how to use all the machines. I'll show you exercises with the free weights, you know, get you started. So at that time, it was like the do or die, the make or break, the like, am I going to put my money where my mouth is? Like, is this a real commitment that I'm making to myself to take control of my health, to make some changes, some lifestyle changes? And so I bought a few sessions, and they weren't cheap, as I'm sure most of you know. Training is not cheap. But I trained with him, I think about 8 sessions. So I trained with him twice a week for a month, and the pounds just started melting off. And I was like, okay, there's something to this. Like there's something that I'm doing right. And that's what a lot of people I think feel when they start their weight loss is that, you know, oh, like instant results, that's what you want. And, you know, those instant results help you keep going forward, but results aren't always instant, and those instant results aren't going to continue to come, especially if you don't change things up and everything.
Yeah. So
as far as mentality wise, I was definitely like novice. Like I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. So quick question. I was wondering why you chose a gym instead of just like, oh, I'm going to do workouts at home, or I'm going to go for like a walk outside. What made you decide, okay, I have to go to an actual gym to start my workout?
Well, as far as outside goes, like I was living near San Francisco at that time, and I know that you live in Oakland now, and it was just like raining and cold all the time, and I'm not a cold weather person. So I knew that like outside was not gonna cut it for me. Like I would quit day one. That wasn't gonna happen. And I had tried out at-home workout programs in the past, and I didn't have anyone at that time to keep me accountable. I use at-home workout programs now, and I have this awesome challenge group system to keep me accountable. But back 5 years ago, I didn't have that, or I didn't know that it existed. So it wasn't something that, you know, I could make friends doing, and that someone would be there, you know, holding me accountable to coming every day, which is, you know, the gym, you kind of see people start to get to know you. Oh, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a week. Or if you get a personal trainer, obviously you have appointments with them, things like that. And I had absolutely no gym equipment at that time. So it was cheaper for me to get a gym membership and use their equipment, because I think I was paying like $10 a month or something. It was like super low. Yeah.
So I guess discuss the personal trainers you have, because you told me this story, and I think it's quite interesting because a lot of people first are scared to get like personal trainers because they're afraid someone's going to yell at them or someone's just going to like take their money. You know, there's this fear of getting a personal trainer. So I guess discuss that.
So I've had personal trainers that run the gamut. I've had like the best trainer like ever, in my opinion. And I've had some of the most inconsistent, flaky, drill sergeant like trainers. So my very first trainer is the one who I deem like the best trainer ever. He was just, you know, very knowledgeable. He was very friendly and compassionate, you know, towards the fact that I was still recovering from mono. I was severely overweight. There's a lot of things that I couldn't do. I mean, the first session that we had together, I spent 15 minutes of it, so half of it, on the floor because I was too dizzy to do a lot of the exercises. And he didn't make me feel bad about it. You know, we had a good rapport with each other, even, you know, after that original session. And I never felt like a number with him. You know, he obviously knew my name. He wrote specific exercises and stuff for me. He never did the same workout. I mean, I trained with him about twice a week for 18 months, and I never did the same workout twice. Like, that's crazy. That's, you know, obviously we did some of the same exercises. There's just not that much variety, but never the same routine. So I had a really great experience with him. And honestly, that was just luck because I was paired with him through that body fit test that I mentioned before. I then moved 400 miles away. I tried to convince him to come with me, but that didn't go over so well. So I needed, or I felt that I needed to get a new trainer to continue down this path of health. And so I transferred gyms. I stayed within the same company, but transferred locations and got a trainer there, thinking, okay, well, I had really great success with my other trainer. And, they probably are of the same caliber. And they really only had one trainer that sort of fit my schedule at that time. So it was obviously, that trainer that I went with. Well, turned out he was super flaky, canceled on me almost every other week, like at least one of my sessions, was almost always late, which I get the lateness because you run behind with clients and it wasn't that much late, but if it's late every session, it's like, okay, come on. It's a little
unprofessional.
Yeah, exactly. But the straw that broke that camel's back is I was coming in for my training session, and I was in the parking lot. So it was almost time for my session. And I got a text message from him that said, I have to cancel today. I'm too tired. And my mind was just blown. I was like, you're telling me you are too tired to train me. And I actually, I walked in to the gym and he was sitting there at the desk, and I pretty much told him, because I was a practicing attorney at the time, and I told him that if I did to my clients what he just did to me, not only would I be fired, but I would probably be sued for malpractice. So it just was crazy how flaky this guy was. And then, so after, I obviously didn't continue with him.
Obviously.
Then after that, I had a drill sergeant type trainer, and our personalities clashed. Some people love that. They like to be yelled at. They like to be pushed harder. And I like to be challenged, but I don't like to be yelled at when I know that I'm doing the move right and I'm doing the best that I can. And, I am of the mentality, I push myself. And I like having a little extra push, but it doesn't have to be mean. It doesn't have to be very rough. So that lasted about a month. And, and then I was like, okay, this isn't working.
Wait, were they both at the same gym?
No, the next one was at a different gym. And then the one that I had after him, I was at the same gym because I was still paying for it. And I had sessions left because I bought a package. So I got a new trainer when they had someone else who was available at my time slot, which, let me tell you, that was a whole battle in and of itself to be assigned a new trainer. Yeah. So I did that, and he was fine. I didn't really see any results with him. I wasn't with him that long, but the thing that bothered me a lot about him was that when I had one session left, he dropped me on another trainer. He decided to take a management position in the gym, and he just dropped. I'm assuming he dropped all of his clients, or else maybe he just dropped me. Because I had one session left. You figure you would finish out one session since you're going to be at the same gym anyway. It's not like he moved or, transferred gyms or anything. So it just, with a lot of those trainers, I felt just they were trying to sell me stuff. I was just someone who would fork out money for things and then not get the service, which is what a lot of people fear when it comes to personal training. So, my recommendation is definitely do your research. Use the the consumer review websites like Yelp. The Google usually has a review now too, not necessarily of the trainers, but some people mention their trainers in there. If you have a friend who either is a trainer or goes to a trainer, get a recommendation from them, because if they're still going, they're obviously happy with them, or they're going to tell you what they don't like. So definitely getting people from referrals is my advice. And if you guys need referrals, like I'm happy to provide referrals. I just became a personal trainer, so I'm going to be training people, but I'm going to be in a gym. So if you need referrals, definitely let me know.
Yeah. So that's exciting. So do you want to discuss now your new journey of personal training?
Yeah, sure. So about 18 months ago, a little bit more than that, after I had all of these horrible trainers, I decided like, okay, enough. I will train myself. And that's when I got into writing my own programs of exercises. I had bought already a TRX, which I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a suspension training system. So you use only body weight.
Oh, okay.
And you can hook it up pretty much anywhere. But I loved doing that with my original trainer. So I bought one of those and I used that, and I used some gym equipment, and I acquired more gym equipment as we went along. As you know, as you get into hobbies, that sort of happens. You acquire stuff that goes along with them. And then I got introduced to a company called Beachbody, and they do at-home fitness videos, fitness DVDs. And at first I was totally skeptical. I was like, no, I've never done at home before. Like it probably wouldn't work for me. There's nothing to keep me accountable. But something kept bugging me to, look more into this, figure out this a little bit more. And so I did, and I asked the person who contacted me like questions for about 6 weeks before I agreed to do anything with her. Because I was so just like, I've had all these bad experiences with personal trainers. What's going to make this different? But I got into it after I did my research, which I guess is like the key to this whole interview is like, do your research on everything.
Yeah.
But, I got into it and loved it. I saw results right away from the programs, and then they had what they call the coaching opportunity, which is basically just to share what you're doing and share your results, continue to be a product of the product. So using their at-home workout programs. They also have supplements. One is called Shakeology. They have a performance line, other things that help your workouts and help your body function at an optimum level. So I actually started coaching for my friends because they were asking me what I was doing now. The weight was coming off again. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this program at home. And they're like, no, you're not. And I was like, yeah, I am. Like, this is what I'm doing. And so they wanted to try it out. So I was coaching them. And we have these things called challenge groups where we're all in a Facebook group together and we're supporting each other and checking in daily and posting our sweaty selfies. Like, I know, Nicole, you did one of my groups with me when I was testing out a different format.
Yeah.
Because we try to keep it fresh and new and add things to it. So that's the accountability piece. And I really got into that. I loved what I was doing as a coach, and it kind of snowballed from there. And I just, like I said, I just recently got my training cert, and I'll be starting at a gym on Monday, which I'm really excited about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And does a gym, out of curiosity, does a gym help you find clients, or do you have to get your own clients?
It's a little bit of both. So they'll give you some referrals, like if people come in and they want to do either the free body assessment or they already know that they want training, then they spread them around to the different trainers, usually based on availability. And then also you go out and get your own clients, at the gym, or, bring them in and see if they want to sign up for a gym membership and then train them there. So there's tons of avenues to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess going back to your first, when you first started working out a couple years ago, what would you consider sorry, my earring fell out and I want to put it back in. Okay. What would you consider your first victory? You went home and you're just like, oh, this was an awesome day.
Gosh, my first victory. Well, my first non-scale victory would probably be when I went through the whole routine, the whole 30 minutes without having to sit down or lay on the floor because I was too dizzy to do something. Which it took, a few sessions to actually do that. And I learned how to fuel my body right for the training sessions, the timing of that, eating, the carbs and the protein and all of that at the right time so that I wasn't getting dizzy. Also just building up my endurance and rebuilding my immune system. So I would say just, being able to get through it was the first victory, and I guess being able to get through it without stopping is the second victory. So those were the first small victories, and definitely they have to be celebrated as you go through, like not just at the beginning, but through the whole process. I mean, your health is a lifetime thing. It's not like a quick fix, like, okay, I'm going to diet and then I'm done. Like, I'm good to go. Like, because then you go back to your normal habits and everything comes back on. You lose the momentum that you have. You lose lean muscle and you put on, fat and all of that. So you have to keep celebrating yourself along the way and, remind yourself that it's a self-care activity. You're not supposed to be beating yourself up. You're supposed to be caring for yourself in this manner.
I like that saying, self-care, because a lot of times people, they just look at the scale and they think, oh, I want to lose 30 pounds in 1 year. And then they just keep either postponing it, and then November comes and they're like, oh, I still have to lose that 20 pounds. And they just keep beating themselves up like they haven't done it. So it's really about self-care.
It's interesting that you mentioned the scale, because I definitely at the beginning had an obsession with the scale and seeing it drop. And most women at least do. Men sometimes want it to rise because they're looking to bulk. But, I had an obsession with that scale, and I had a good friend of mine who was my health coach at the time. We've since become very good friends, but she, told me the scale is just a tool. It does not judge you. It's just like a, what is it? The rulers that you use, the tape, the measuring tape that you use to measure. It's just like taking photos. It's just like how your clothes fit. Like, you're more than any sort of number on that scale. You have other ways to show that you're doing things right for your body.
Exactly. I know, it's just like people are just so tempted to look at that scale. So speaking of, you mentioned, eating at the right time and eating correctly before your workout. I think a lot of times people don't think about that, is that they need to eat maybe so many hours before their workout and what they should feed themselves. So what was some of your first lessons you learned about food? Working out?
Well, the basic lesson is to cut the crap. You got to get rid of the stuff that's really weighing you down and most of the processed stuff. And that's not to say that I don't still eat some of that stuff on occasion. I'm human. I love pizza. I love ice cream. I love chocolate. I love wine. I love those things. And I'm not going to be like, nope, I'm not having them ever again. That's just not realistic. But I have to have them in moderation and only on occasion. I don't drink wine every night. I don't eat ice cream every day. I don't even have pizza every week, So it's something that you have to slowly do, though, because in my opinion, at least, if you go completely change your diet 100% and change all of your fitness habits 100% all at the same time, you are going to shock yourself, and you're going to do it for maybe a week. And then you're going to be like, this is too hard. I can't do this. And you're going to go right back into your other habits. So, like I said, I went to the gym and then I went to McDonald's, and I don't suggest doing that exactly, but start with one thing, change one thing a week and then start adding on to that, Maybe the first week you start working out and you work out 5 days that week, and then for 30 minutes. And then maybe the next week you commit to doing that, but you also say, okay, and I'm going to make a healthy dinner 3 days out of the week. I'm going to make a totally healthy dinner. And then the next week you kind of add on to that, like, okay, like I am going to make healthy dinners every day this week. I'm going to work out 5 times this week, and I'm going to make sure I get 8 hours of sleep a night, or whatever your focus wants to be. But add those things in slowly so that you aren't overwhelming yourself and they become more of habits for you.
Yeah. So have you created any like healthy like recipes or snacks that you're just like really like surprised that was actually pretty good?
I actually did. So during December, I did a detox, and I was totally terrified of the food because I'm a self-proclaimed veggie hater. I do not like vegetables. The only way in the past I've been able to eat them is like in soups and like hidden in other things.
Yeah.
And like my salads, my friends think my salads are so boring because they're pretty much like lettuce. Like that's it. Because I just don't, like raw vegetables just really don't appeal to me, and I have a difficult time eating them. But I've found ways to do it. So a lot of the detox recipes, I was like, oh, this isn't going to be good. And they turned out really great. And I had to tweak some of them a little bit, but for the most part, you know, they were good. And I'm still in the habit of hiding my vegetables. So like I make a lot of casserole type things so that I can shred up zucchini and hide it in with some meat. Or, you know, I put spinach spinach or kale or chard or, you know, leafy green vegetables in my shakes with fruit or with, you know, with my Shakeology. Or I will combine like potato and cauliflower to make a mash. Or I'll use, you know, sweet potatoes is a vegetable, but it's sort of a starch also, so it's kind of cheating. So I'll eat some of those. I do make a lot of vegetable soup still because I enjoy that, and I know that I'm getting, you know, some good vegetables. And from the detox, I have a great recipe for miso soup, which I loved. I ate it all throughout the detox, and I am actually going to be making it for my meal plan this coming week. So
awesome. That does sound good, actually.
Good.
It's cold right now, so I'm like, ooh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been working out throughout this whole journey since 2011. So what? That's about 5 years. Now we're in 2016. That's crazy. So throughout that time, I know a lot of people, when they start working out and start trying to eat healthy, they hit roadblocks all the time, you know, and they'll maybe stop working out, or they'll just feel like nothing's happening, nothing's changing. So I'm pretty sure in the 5 years you probably have hit some roadblocks, and I guess maybe just discuss that and how you went like over it, you know, how you conquered them.
Yeah, I definitely had some setbacks during this 5-year period. You know, I broke the 200-pound mark 3 times before it really kept. So I was up and down, not like yo-yo dieting, but like my weight, you know, was fluctuating. And, you know, I had times that like you said, I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to keep doing this. I didn't want to, you know, push through. I didn't want to eat another salad. I didn't want to eat more vegetables. But I actually have, so I have this book. I actually have several of these now. And this is it's a photo book, like, obviously, but it has photos from every month since I started my journey. And it has, so like, this is the very first one. I don't know if you can see it.
Wow.
But yeah, I look totally different. This was literally, I took a cruise right after I started my journey, which was interesting. Maybe I shouldn't have taken a cruise right after, but took this cruise. So I have all these pictures, 1 or 2 a month from the time that I started until now. And so when I'm having a really bad day, or I don't want to work out, or I don't want to eat my salad, or I just want a milkshake, or, you know, whatever it is, I go pick up this book and I look in the face of this girl and I think 2 things. I thank her for making the decision to take control of her health and not be 300 pounds anymore, not be sick, not be bedridden, and really, you know, take control of her life. And I also say, but I'm not her anymore. And I don't sit on my couch. I go work out. I don't, you know, eat pizza every night. I eat vegetables. So I reflect a lot back on what I don't want. And I reflect forward on, look, like I want to be a certain physical shape. Not necessarily just the way I look, but my capacity to do things. In 2012, which was like about 18 months after I started, I climbed Half Dome on a whim. A friend of mine really wanted to do it, and we applied for like these lottery permits, and we got them. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't think we were going to get them. But we went, and I was able to do it, and I had a really good time. And it's not anything that I thought I would be able to do or would enjoy doing. So I think about all those moments that, you know, if I backslide into these bad habits, like those are the moments I'm going to miss, because there's no way that 300-pound me would have gone and climbed Half Dome.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
So,
just mentally you couldn't do it, and then also just physically, I don't think you could do it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Yeah. It would have just been painful, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess from that, that book keeps you going, but what else sort of keeps you going now? Now that you know you're going to be a personal trainer, you're going to do all this, but even as a personal trainer, you're probably going to have roadblocks. So currently, I guess, besides the book, what keeps you going?
Well, I have a great community of people online that are coaches with me, or that are my challengers. And so, you know, fitness and health is sort of my business now. And yes. I mean, I'm my own business card. If I'm not looking great, feeling great, you know, having energy, like it shows, and it shows right away, you know, in my body language, in my communication with people. And they're going to be like, hey, wait, she's preaching all this stuff, but she's not practicing it. So why would I take her advice?
Yeah.
So, you know, my body and my lifestyle is my own calling card, and that definitely helps keep me accountable. I mean, I post all the time on my wellness page as well as on my personal page, you know, what my workout is, what my meal plans are, like my recipes. And a lot of that is obviously to share, but, you know, there's a piece of it is to keep me on track, on point of like, this is what I'm doing. So there's that piece. And, you know, sometimes you just need to take a day off. You just need to skip that workout. You just need to have that pizza and beer. You just need to go to the wedding and have wedding cake. So you need to let yourself do that, because this is your life. And if you don't like your life, you're not going to continue to make good choices.
That's very true. Okay. So I guess like now we're in the New Year's, you know, and everyone's like, I'm going to work out this year. You know, it's like you have that New Year's energy. And I guess for those people that their New Year's resolution is to either lose weight or eat healthier, what tidbits or advice would you give those people?
So I have a couple. The first one I already touched on, which is start slow.
Yes.
Add things in one at a time. And that's not to say like, you know, okay, like I'm going to work out once a week for the next year. Like, no, that's a little too slow.
Yeah.
Don't like go crazy and go all in, because you will just like, you'll stop. Like in my experience, you'll stop. So, you know, add things in 1 week at a time. The next thing is to start now. Like, don't wait till Monday. Don't wait till February 1st. Don't wait until, I need to wait until my daughter's birthday, or I need to wait until I have this in order, or I need to wait till this is done, or I need to wait till class starts. Like, start today. Like, make your next meal a healthy one. You know, it's 11:30. You have plenty of time to work out today. I'm going to go work out right after we finish this interview. Yeah. So start now. Don't keep waiting for Monday. Don't keep waiting for the next thing to come. Just start. And then the last thing would be to get some help. And that's not, you know, obviously like a personal trainer is great. A health coach is great. A nutritionist is great. Like all these professional people are great. You will have to pay for that. But here's the thing is people pay for accountants. People pay for lawyers. People pay for plumbers. People pay for architects. So you pay for all of these people who have this sort of expertise and experience. But when it comes to your body, which you only have one of, and which is carrying you through your life, people don't want to pay for that. And I understand because I was there. Like, I didn't want to pay for it. I didn't want to pay for personal training. But I can also tell you, you get what you pay for. So if you really want to make a commitment to your health, like, get some help with it. And it doesn't have to be top of the line. You don't have to be paying $500 per session. You don't need to be, you know, dropping, you know, $1,000 a month on a gym membership. You don't need a personal training studio in your house. Like, you don't need the fancy stuff, but get some help, get some advice, you know, or go at least follow some people on the internet, bookmark some good blogs, get some good recipe books, some good cookbooks. Don't just wing it, because either you'll make something that tastes horrible and you'll never make that again, or you will make something that tastes really good but isn't actually all that good for you.
Yeah.
So get some help in whatever you're struggling with. And, you know, if it's a nutrition piece, like I said, get some cookbooks, get a health coach, get a nutritionist, follow some bloggers online that post healthy recipes and they post the nutrition facts for them or the meal plans that they follow. If it's the fitness piece, get a personal trainer, get a gym membership, go to group fitness classes, participate in an online challenge group with at-home workouts. Or even, you know, if all of that is still too much for you, if either you're not committed enough, you're not sure that it's going to work, or you really just don't have the funds, get some of your friends together and hold each other accountable, because that's free. You know, do a Biggest Loser in your office. Like, do something, do whatever you can do at this point, but keep doing it and keep challenging yourself. So if, you know, you put this workout group together with your buddies for a little while and you get some good results, take the next step. Join a challenge group with people that you don't know, because then you're going to be held more accountable. And then, you know, if that's really working, do the next step. Do some group fitness classes. Try a TRX class if you haven't tried it. Try a rowing class, which is my absolute favorite. Try a spin class, which I absolutely hate. You know, try new things, you know, and if you're getting good results there and you really want to fine tune it, get a personal trainer. I can tell you, I paid through the nose for my personal training, but if I were to do it again, would I do it? Heck yeah. I'm down 110 pounds, and it all started because I had someone helping me. So,
and it's very true. You need a good, strong support system. And also, like, you need, if you are so, like, fitness and healthy eating are your goals, but you've never done it, it's like, wouldn't you want someone to give you some tips? So, speaking of, like, bloggers, do you have any favorites that you like to bookmark?
You, of course. You know, I have a friend who not just started, but she's just sort of ramped up her blog. It's called Let's Regale, and it's a food blog, and she has some just amazing stuff on it. All very healthy, but very, very tasty. Some stuff I've never tried before, some stuff I've never even heard before. And she travels the world. So her blog is stuff from all different parts of the world, all different recipes that, you know, different cultures use. So it's really interesting. I go to hers a lot. And then I also use a cookbook called FIXATE, which goes hand in hand with my meal planning system. So I recommend that cookbook. My favorite recipe so far in there is the mac and cheese. It's really good. It has broccoli and chicken in it, which I was a little bit leery of the broccoli, of course, but it's really, really good. I'm actually having it for lunch today. I made it as part of my meal plan this week. So
yeah, I've never had broccoli in my mac and cheese. So
it's good. It's surprisingly good.
Okay, I gotta get that try, and we'll put those links in the description. So
yeah, perfect.
Awesome. So did you want to discuss your meetup groups and your Shakeology a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, I started doing at-home fitness programs about 18 months ago. I love them, and now I run the groups that are associated with them. And this is for people who maybe they don't feel comfortable in a gym, or they don't have time to get to a gym, or they don't have a gym near them. They travel a lot. They don't have the money to spend a lot of money on a gym, or, they have multiple people in their family who want to work out, because, working out with a friend is much more enjoyable than working out by yourself. So they can do the videos together. It also has an on-demand component now, so you don't have to have the DVDs. You can just do the videos online, and there's a whole library, like hundreds of workouts. I don't even know if I could do all of them, because they keep adding new ones almost daily. They have challenges of the day and challenges of the week and all sorts of different workouts. They have workouts for pregnant women. They have workouts for people trying to build muscle. They have yoga workouts, and of course they have like insanity type workouts, but all sorts of things. And along with that, I've been drinking a supplement called Shakeology, which is people often refer to it as a protein shake. It's not a protein shake. It does have protein in it, but it's more of a whole health shake. It has superfoods. It has prebiotics, probiotics, vitamins, minerals. I used to take a whole handful of vitamins, like pills, and I used to have to take them at night because they made me sick. And now I just drink my shake and I'm good for the day. And it tastes, in my opinion, it tastes awesome. I always get the chocolate, occasionally the strawberry, but you couldn't pay me enough to drink the vanilla. So it depends on your palate, because I have some clients who all they drink is vanilla, and I'm like, that's disgusting. But it's just like any other food. Like if you like something, your friend doesn't, there's different palates. So, but I run these challenge groups where you check in daily, like I said, and I provide you personal support, coaching. I'm here to answer your questions. We do prizes, of course, and we do weekly calls so that we can all stay connected. And you get a challenge buddy, which is fun. And there's all these tools to keep you in the game and keep you accountable. And we do mini goals and all sorts of stuff, fun stuff. And, if I host free groups also. So if you want to try it out and see if it's right for you, I host them usually once a month. I have one coming up on the 11th, which is Monday. But I host them usually once a month, and they're, between 5 and 10 days long, with different topics, different things that we're focusing on at that point. So, so if you want to try those out, and then that's sort of what I'm doing with the coaching. And I don't remember what the second question was.
I think your meetup group.
Oh, my meetup group. Yes. So a lot of the work that I do coaching is online, and for me, it's so much more enjoyable to actually meet people and see them in person, and really get to know them on a friendship level, a relationship level, instead of just, at a distance or remotely, which is, I'm so thankful for technology that we can do remotely, but also love seeing people in person. So I started this meetup group, and it's called Bay Area Free Workouts. And, I'm going to be doing a free workout once a week, usually on Saturdays. The day, may change a little bit, but obviously that will be posted in the meetup group. And then I'm trying to be doing also other types of events once a month or once every other month. Especially, you know, with you, Nicole, we have some stuff that we're getting set up. We're doing our vision board party at the end of January, which I'm excited about.
I'm very excited about. So I know the link for that event, guys, is going to be in the description, but pretty much all our early bird tickets have sold out. So you pretty much have to get on it right away to get a ticket.
Yeah. I can't believe they sold out so fast. It's exciting.
Like we only had the event up for like what, 3 days, I think?
Yeah. So I'm excited to meet all kinds of new people through the meetup group, through these in-person events. And you know, if you're watching this and you see a friend who, you know, wants some help with their self-esteem or their love of self or their health or their fitness, you know, bring them to one of you know, our joint events, or bring them to one of the fitness events, because that's what it's about. It's about improvement of your whole self, like, and health and fitness is a part of that. But I'm very much promoter of personal development. There's lots of personal development books that I read, and I do it on a daily basis. And that is, you know, one of the keys to motivating yourself to keep going.
Yeah. And I have to say, the group that I was a part of, one of your new like challenge groups, it was with all us fraternity brothers, or some of us, and it was really good because I really did enjoy the accountability part. So for anyone that was like out there that's like, oh, I don't want to go to gym every day, this was really helpful, because it's like, oh, if I don't post a picture of myself, all these people are going to know I didn't work out, you know?
Yeah. And some people, it's interesting, like once you really, you know, get to be in the group for a while and get to know people, like some people will call you out too, like, hey, I haven't seen you in a couple of days, where are you? So it's good.
It's like, oh, sorry guys. So yeah, so again, thank you so much, Kasey, for joining us on this Google Hangout. I really enjoyed hearing your story. Yeah. So is there any last things you want to tell people about health and fitness before we go?
You know, I guess just the key points that I said before is like, start now. If it's something you really want, start now. And that this is a lifestyle thing. It's not a quick fix. It's not a diet. It's not, you know, a workout program that you're going to finish and be done with. Like, if you really want to make your health a priority, it's going to be for life. And, you know that going in, and you're going to have setbacks, and you're going to have ups and downs, and you're going to have seasons of your life where you're not working out as hard as you were, or you're not eating as clean as you were, or you're not sleeping as much as you would like to. And you all have those, and you'll go through, you know, it's sort of cyclical, but knowing that the commitment is there to be healthy for yourself and for maybe your family or your spouse, your kids, your parents, people that you love. Find your why. Why are you doing this? And for me, you know, it's to not be that person that I was, to not be so overweight, so unhealthy, so sick all the time, run into the ground. So that's, you know, what keeps me going. But everyone is different. You know, I have friends who they started it because they wanted to be able to roll around with their kids on the floor. Like, they weren't able to get down on the floor on their hands and knees and play with their kids. And that's why they started working out. You know, I have friends who want to take all these travel adventures, and they're just like, I'm tired. Like, I get somewhere and I just want to rest on the beach instead of going, you know, on these cool adventures like zip lining or hiking or whatever. And so they started working out and fueling their body right so that they can take the adventures that they want. So you got to find your why. That's very true. Because like, if you don't have a why, then there's no reason for you to keep going. Yeah. So. All right. Well, thank you again, Kasey. And I'll be seeing you very soon. Bye, guys. All right. Bye.